part 2 of my discussion with Heather Isaac, VP of Admissions and Marketing for Visible Music College. You can find Visible Music College at
visible.edu.
Visible.edu. All right, and if you can spot the difference between us on this video and us on part 1, I'll send you. I'm just kidding. There's not a difference. I was gonna do something, but there's not a difference. I don't want to ruin your life, and I don't want to send you $100 or apologize.
Free T-shirt.
So yes, you send you a free T-shirt if there's not a difference. So sorry.
That's
if
right.
you apply, and you say part 2 while you're applying, you can have a free T-shirt. Whatever. That's sorry. So we're talking about further applying to the Visible Music College, which you should do if it's a great match for you.
Yeah.
And we covered a lot of the good ground on certificate, bachelor's, and master's, all the range of types of people that we love to see at Visible. But we're talking now about January start, which is middle of the year, secret, super special, spooky, starting in January. Why would anyone consider applying to Visible in January?
Yeah.
And maybe what's the difference between spring and fall? Anything just off the top of your head that you know about starting in January?
Well, it is funny because we in the education world we all talk about it as the middle of the year, but the rest of the world, it's the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, of course, I tend to think, a lot of times we do make resolutions, or we make changes, or we kind of say, you know what, this is the year I'm gonna whatever, fill in the blank. And so I think, especially for people who they let, this year go by and they couldn't, for whatever reason, make it work to go back to school or to start school for the first time, I think that's a great time, because you're already kind of in that mindset of like, you know what do I want for next year? Next year, I want to actually be able to pursue my calling, pursue my passion, really, dive deep into this. And I think January is such a great time to do it, because you're already motivated of thinking about the next year. What do I want to do, and what do I want to pursue? Because I think then if you wait a whole nother 6 months, 8 months really, before the fall semester starts, who knows what's going to happen during that time.
Yeah, that's right.
So just jump in.
Right. Yeah, that's great. I like that. I think that people, especially in the time we're in, I think we're going to have a larger group than normal, even starting in the mid-year for us, and the beginning of the year. So you can start at any of our physical campuses. You can start at the online campus. You can join the master's is all online. The certificate, a lot of folks zooming in on that. I think there's there's a lot of options, and nothing to hold you back from doing it in January. I think so I think there's going to be a pretty large group of people coming in to Visible. So when you first come on campus, if you do start in January, you won't necessarily know anybody, although you could come visit ahead of time, come to our Christmas show and come to Indie Visible shows and come visit. We'd love that. But what would it be like coming in the middle of the year, I think, that's maybe community-wise?
Yeah, and that may be, I think, a piece that that kind of deters some people, of like, well, I want to start when everybody else starts in the fall. Well, as he just mentioned, that's not necessarily the case with us. We actually do have, a number of people who start in January, so you wouldn't be alone, so that's great. But the cool thing about our January start that I love is our winter retreat.
Oh, yeah.
That's something that's like super special about Visible, and I have just fantastic memories both as a student and staff at our winter retreat. And so what that is we basically, when we all get back, we kind of all leave together and we go off site and we spend a couple of days all together as staff and students, and there's worship, there's teaching, there's games, there might be some pranks happening, things like that just really bring us together as a community. Because I mean, when students finish finals in December, it's almost like a month since we've seen the student body, so it is kind of like, oh wow, we haven't seen each other in a long time. And so I think that's such a great way for new students to come in, is that it's not you get here and you just immediately start classes, and you've got to also start getting to know people at the same time. It's like you get here and we don't have classes, and we just have this lovely time of really just being in community together, And I think it's perfect to just kind of jump in and get to know people right away. So
yeah, that's good. There's like a little orientation where you have your own crew, like, hey, here's us who are starting.
Yep.
We know each other, and we're going to let people know, hopefully, if you apply early by the green button on visible.edu, then you get to know your roommate ahead of time, you get to know your teachers a little bit, you see some videos from folks, and you can ask questions, visit campus. But when you get on campus, there's a little orientation around that group that's starting.
Yep.
And then some programs even, you may not tell the difference. They start fresh in January. Some programs, you're in the middle, but you're kind of coming in with that winter retreat.
Yeah.
And that is a great time. You just get to know one another, and the community's very welcoming.
Oh.
That's the cool thing about it. We've gone through some hard times, but there's a lot of other people who are like, we're just coming out of pandemic. There's a lot of stuff that's going to still be opening and fresh, and you're arriving on the scene in January when things are opening up a little bit. So that would
absolutely
feel good. Well, a couple other things. On the front end of the fall term, there's an opportunity to do a class real quick, and we have sort of course summer term can help people catch up if they come in January. We can mold their program around to have them line up to fall right in.
Yeah.
What about also there's a blitz term? What is that? You don't have to do it for January, which is kind of cool.
That is nice. Yeah, we get the question a lot. What is blitz? So blitz, the way I like to describe it, it's a crash course. So it is an entire college class, typically 3 credit hours that we knock out in 2 weeks. So you're in class every day for 3 or 4 hours a day, and that's the only class that you have at the time. So it seems like a lot, but at the same time it's also your only class, and you also get to knock out 3 credit hours right at the start, and then that's it. And so now you have a lighter load the rest of the semester. So it's a great way to just hash out those credits and also just kind of do a crash course in a topic. So
and so if you're thinking like that quick start that doesn't happen in January, so you miss that, but also you get to not do it.
That's right.
As well. It's like it's a benefit. You'll get ready for that after.
You'll feel a lot better probably for that reason. But
So the types of students that might come in January, we welcome a diversity of people, different denominations and ages and every kind of diversity that there is. International students coming in.
Yeah.
What kind of student might benefit from that start in January?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a great opportunity even for high school seniors.
Okay.
And so if you're a senior in high school right now and you feel like you have to wait, or you think you have to wait until next fall to be a student at Visible, the great news is you don't have to wait. So we do have a dual enrollment program, and so that's something that you can do both beginning in the fall semester of your senior year, but you can also start in the spring semester of your senior year, and you could go ahead and knock out some college credits in the spring semester and do those online, right? So you still are going to your high school classes and have that schedule, but if you do have some time, or even some of our night classes might work really well with your schedule. Cool. So I highly recommend the dual enrollment program. It gets your feet wet and it gets you used to some of the college level material, and then you just go right from there into applying for a bachelor's program with us. So.
Yeah, that's cool. I could see homeschool families maybe taking advantage of some of the classes at that age when they're not yet graduated. That's possible to do.
Yep, it's a great program, especially for the homeschool community, and I definitely have seen quite a bit of success with cool. that. So it's highly recommend it.
Yeah, a large group of our students are homeschooled or Christian schooled, coming from pastoral families and ministry families. I think that's a cool thing. People they get the idea. Visible's not a traditional college that's just like same thing. We get right into the stuff you're doing. So even if you come in January, you're able to get jump right in a band even, and you're managing, or you're producing content right away, video stuff, all that. What if you've kind of done that, you messed up, and you went to another school? which we know can happen to 100,000 other people.
Right.
But you messed up. You went to another school. We forgive you. We kind of like you when you press the green button.
That's right.
And we're welcoming. We're like, we were here all along.
Yeah.
But here we are. You did finally find us.
Yes.
And so what about you? You've done some credits other places.
Right.
Maybe a good January person.
Perfect. Oh yeah, transfer students. This is ideal. Because especially if that is the case, you started another college during the fall semester and you've already realized, you know what, this isn't really what I wanted to do, or it's just not a good fit for you. And we talked about that in the first part of this video. Just that's really important to us here at Visible, is that you're where you're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, we totally get that we have most of our transfer students come to us for that reason of, I started at this other school and it just wasn't what I was looking for. It just wasn't the right fit. And so absolutely, I think realizing that, and then, you know, making that decision to look elsewhere and really try to find what is a good fit. So that would be another great reason to start in January. Don't spend another semester at the school that you don't feel like is a good fit.
Right.
There's not a reason to do that, because you really can. You can transfer right in. A lot of times the credits will transfer if, you know, they're general, core and electives and things like that. And so it's not wasted time, and you can just bring it on over here. So. Yeah,
one thing that occurs to me is if you've done ministry in the past and you've done schools that maybe weren't accredited, or Bible college, different things like that, we understand all those credits. We work with a lot of schools.
Yeah.
We love to make sure you don't have any wasted time.
Yeah.
I thought about closing with this. You know, we have like adult students can come.
Yeah.
Certificate students 1 year. Sometimes it's even starting the program fresh in January, so it's a great time. But I want to just speak for a second to the parents as we close. If you're a parent of a student, you recognize, or your niece wants to do this, your grandchild, they need a little encouragement. They need a little help, not just technically with the application, but they just need a little bit of encouragement arriving at that point. Yeah. And so just say that to you. January is a great time to get them out of the house, onto one of our campuses, or maybe it's a great time to go ahead and start college early, like you're saying, do enrollment, and get going. Maybe even the online campus. That's the best they can do for now, or the thing that works with their abilities or whatever. So
that's right.
We want to encourage you. Thank you, Heather Isaac, VP of Admissions and Marketing. Her team's amazing. They're wonderful people. If you just go to visible.edu and press the green button, apply now, you'll be suddenly swept into this room with us hanging out, doing great stuff. Something like that. You'll have to go to class and then we'll hang out in here.
That's right.
But you can be on the video if you come to visible.edu. Thank you very much. See you next time on Live with Dr. Ken.